Good evening, everybody. Please share this out. What a better way to spend your Friday evening is with us. You know, it's the Friday evening, it's beautiful out, and time to look at some Cover Up. Cover Up by Paloma. Paloma Cover Up. Invite your friends, invite your neighbors, share this, get it out. We're streaming on Facebook Live and on YouTube at Duke 1517 and 88.1 FM Fargo Moorhead on Facebook.
Could you please help us share? Sharing is caring.
That's right. We're going to play some music and give you all a little bit of time to get on. You know, you don't want to miss the beginning of the show. There's always a monologue, recap, thanks for the last show that you need to know. In order to get that, you have to go all the way back to the beginning and listen to it again. We don't want you to have to do that. So sit tight, put your seatbelt on. You're not in Kansas anymore.
Uh-oh. You can't find us on YouTube. You got us on YouTube?
Yep. You're fine.
There we are.
Twin Ivans. Ivan here, Ivan there.
Where you been?
Ivan, lots of places.
Good evening, folks. Happy Friday. Welcome, one and all, to A Mexican Crossing Lines with your host, Cindy Gomez-Schempp.
And Duke Gomez-Schempp.
You're listening to 88.1 FM KPPPLP Fargo Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. Now, tonight I'm going to talk about Paloma's Cover Up. She's got a lot to cover, and she does it all the time. Sometimes she does it by erasing her videos, erasing her posts, erasing her pictures, trying to erase her past. But it's all there. It's been collected. It's been curated. It's been shared. It's been viewed. It's been talked about. And we've talked about it quite a bit on my show. I started covering all of the people that were involved with the caravans. You know, I was watching a lot of the people that were live streaming at the border when they came in late 2017, 2018, was it? Mm-hmm. Or was it 2018, 2019? I can't remember now with the pandemic. Time has stopped.
That's right. That's right. We're still in the pandemic. Remember that.
But, folks, I was, getting all of the red flags from watching this particular individual because of many reasons. And as I began collecting information, I learned there were a lot of similarities between this individual, Paloma, and a lot of other folks that I have been researching and reporting on. In particular, I also learned after reporting a lot of my findings that she had a long list of victims of harassment, online bullying, threats, extortion, stalking, and other online crimes such as disseminating revenge pornography. In the course of my interviews with a number of folks that you've seen come on my show and reporting on what is publicly available information about other cases that are pending or that she's had in the past, with other individuals whom she has either harassed or stalked, etc. I saw a pattern. I noticed a pattern. And this pattern is that at one time, Paloma called all of the people she now says are harassing her and victimizing her friends. Or she was a fan of these people. At one point, she was a fan of Jimena Sanchez, the Fox News model / sports caster in Spanish television, Fox News, whom she called the wannabe chichona, wannabe Pantene hair, in an audio in which she admitted to stalking her not that long ago. And this is also true for many of the other people that she coveted, that she wanted to be like, that she was a fangirl of, that she wanted to spend time with, or thought that she could have something akin to their lives if she glommed onto them. People like Mary Tando, people like Michael Shapiro, people like Fabiana Baldo, whose lives she coveted, whose homes she coveted, whose families she coveted. Or people that she could get something from, because I have to tell you something, folks. A lot of the people that I came to interview about this woman had something in common. And I'm not going to say if it's bad or good. I guess that's up for you to decide. But these were people, for the most part, that were very non-judgmental. They were not jaded like yours truly. I don't believe people at face value. I trust nothing. I have to look deeper and dig deeper. But maybe that comes with being a reporter. These folks, however, the vast majority of them are very kind-hearted, non-judgmental people that will take you at face value and not ask a lot of questions about why or what. Unfortunately, they learned the hard way over time that Paloma Zuniga is someone that can turn your life into a living hell. Once she is known, once she is caught, once people realize that she is there because she wants something from you, because she is going to stalk you now forever. Once people start to realize that they have a problem they need to now deal with in this person, they go down this road. For some of these folks, this road, this nightmare of dealing with Paloma has lasted for years. So, for those of you who are just becoming aware, for those of you who haven't been following me for a year or longer, for those of you who are not familiar with this story, I need to make you familiar with the story. And I want to apologize to those who say, I already heard about this, or I don't want to hear about this anymore. You know what? I learn something new every day when I look back at the things that I was investigating about this individual a year ago, and I look at them again. I find new things. I see new things I didn't think were important before, but that I realize are important now. And I think that it also is important for all the people who are new, who are just now learning, who are just now realizing that this woman has become infamous on social media for being violent and abusive to a migrant child at the border, who has in the past abused verbally a nonverbal handicapped adult that was under her care, that we know has defrauded or extorted money out of people and made threats and harassed and bullied and stalked over a dozen individuals that I know of. And that's just what I have discovered up to now. Because tonight I am going to go over some very important things connected to what I talked about in my last show, the recent sentencing of Ivan Raebling, a man connected to the cartels in Mexico, connected to organized crime, accused of extortion, accused of abuse, and someone who's been arrested in the past and whom, for whatever reason, Paloma felt she needed to lie about knowing, needed to lie about taking a picture of and with, and what she knew about this individual. And I'm going to talk about it again tonight with some added information. But first, I want to thank all of those of you who are watching, that are supporting, that are here to learn. Thank you for being ready to learn, because it is only through knowledge that we achieve some form of empowerment. If you have knowledge and you are empowered with that information, then those individuals that seek to do harm, they're not going to be able to get away with it. Not under our watch. So thank you for supporting the investigative work of this station.
Definitely. And thank you all for joining us tonight. We're on YouTube, Duke1517, which you can do Super Chat. And I'd like to thank Lily V for making a contribution. Thank you very much. If you'd like to support us, hit that Super Chat button and make a donation. Also, if you're on YouTube, or you're on Facebook, you can make a tax-deductible donation by going to our website at kpppfm.com/donate. Make a tax-deductible contribution so we can continue our work and move forward. We are a nonprofit radio station. We do live streams, Facebook live streams and YouTube live streams. We also produce radio shows. We put things on the radio ourselves. We have other people producing radio shows as we speak. We got a new one coming in from Stephen Lugar. He'll probably be dropping it off during this show. Hopefully get that on by midnight tonight. And we've got things running over the weekend and help support our work. Also, if you want to get a hold of us, you can call 701-566-0917. That'll leave a message. It's a message line. Again, that's 701-566-0917. You can email Cindy at kpppfm.com or me, Duke, at kpppfm.com. Welcome to the show and enjoy yourselves tonight.
Now, I want to start off by saying that this is a woman who harasses Americans in the United States from a distance, from Mexico, and hides in Mexico from any repercussion for her vexatious litigation, for her unending request for restraining orders that she gets denied for again and again and again. And you might have heard her flapping her gums, telling people that she recently won a court case. This is a layperson that doesn't know the law from a hole in the ground. Okay? She has no idea how restraining orders work. And obviously, she doesn't understand what occurred in the courtroom. There were people that were watching. I was one of them. And let me tell you what occurred. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the fact that many court cases have either been postponed or are being done over some kind of teleconference. Okay? So you could choose to wait until the pandemic rules are lifted and you can appear in court, or you can appear in one of these virtual courtrooms. During a pandemic, requests for restraining orders that are based on an immediate threat to your life, those restraining orders are only being granted if either of the two parties are going to have or have had any physical contact. Does that make sense? Because during a pandemic, when most people are shut in their homes and can't even have contact with the outside world, much less find the time to go and harass or threaten other people, if they haven't had any contact, there is no underlying reason, as the judge said in this case, for them to issue any kind of restraining order for anyone. So, although Mary had a restraining order up until the point in which she went to court again, the judge decided that there was no underlying reason for him to issue any ongoing restraining order for her or for any of the other people that requested a restraining order in that court. Because as I was waiting for this court case to come up, others were going on in other courtrooms. And almost every single case that was brought before judges that day, restraining orders requests that day, were being asked, first and foremost, a singular question. Have you had any contact with the defendant or with the respondent or with the other person? Have you had any physical contact of any kind? No. Thank you. And then they would move on because, and this is what the judge said at the end, there's no reason to give any kind of restraining order as long as there is no immediate threat to anybody and neither of you have had any physical contact or will have. So this is not the venue for your beef, whatever your beef is. But she would like for you to think that she had some modicum of success, even though she went in, as I showed you prior to the date of the court, to request ex parte, which means an emergency hearing without Mary Tando present, to get that restraining order, and was denied again. Not only that, she was told she would have to present herself on the day via video, that Mary was going to be heard again about continuing her restraining order. And she was told by the judge, no, bye-bye. And the many witnesses that she brought were also told, no, bye-bye. Nobody wants to hear from them because they're not relevant. In addition to the fact that the judge, and of course this is just my opinion, but as an observer, it seemed like the judge thought that she was a total clown. Let me give you an example as to why. At one point, in addition to saying that she was a Republican Party, she called herself an activist and said she was a Republican Party representative, I think. And the judge was like, what? And she's like, yes. And the president's invited me to the White House. And she said, and this was the part that the judge stopped her for. Mind you, the judge is doing this over the internet. A lot of the people that were on this system, including Mary, were having a hard time communicating back and forth with the judge. So you could tell that he allowed people a lot of room to speak without interruption because he didn't want to have to stop the communication and have some problems with the technology. But he felt the need to stop her when she said this. She said, I have 300 million followers. She said that she had so many millions followers, and the judge said, excuse me, rewind. What did you say? Did you just say that you had 300 million followers? Now I'm paraphrasing, but she did say that she had all of these millions of followers, and the judge stopped her and said, not even Beyonce has this many followers. Like, let's do a reality check, okay, crazy? Do you realize that you're saying that you have more followers than one of the most influential celebrities on the planet? And I'm supposed to believe the okay. So, to sum up what occurred, she wasted her own time and money traveling into the United States during a pandemic to request ex parte hearings that she was denied. Then she ended up having to go on a Zoom call on which she humiliated herself and made herself a laughing stock of all of those watching, including the judge. And then she was told, goodbye. Bye-bye. So there's something to cover up there. Not to mention the fact that the latest person to come forward and share their experiences on my show was none other than Robert Herrera, otherwise known as Legal Latino Heat. And I just have to say that I can understand why that would be difficult, since this isn't just somebody that she stalked because she became a fan of. This is someone that she fell in love with. I showed you, because Mary provided me the text messages, where she requested again and again to know if Robert had gotten a hold of her. Has Robert called? Is Robert calling? Let me show you how she posted about loving Robert in another post in 2018, I believe, in July of 2018. She says, I don't find men. And someone else responds, it's an American saying find. Don't go deep on the verb. And she says in response, I have a man who loves me, and I happen to be in love with Robert. Again, that's not the only post, the only comment, the only video, the only text message, the only evidence that I have shown you that she was in love. But, and this is one of the reasons why she is so rabidly angry at Anthony Agüero and at Oscar El Blue Ramirez, that as recently as the beginning of this year, they both corroborated the fact that she was still carrying a torch for this man. Desperately carrying a torch for this man with a story, a whopper of a story, a lie, in which she told people that she dumped him because he wanted to get her pregnant and she didn't want to have babies because she's going to be a celebrity. And so she had to get rid of him. Even though I've shown you repeatedly. And let's just be clear about something. She covets fame. She covets fortune. She covets following. She also wants to get something from any of the individuals that she has harassed over the years. Of late, especially, she has been bringing up Laura Loomer a lot. Don't think it's because she has deeply admired Laura Loomer forever. In reality, it is what Laura Loomer represents to her that is appealing. And what that is fame and fortune. Let me remind you that the majority of the people that she once was a fangirl of, she now stalks and hates and says she's a victim of. Like Jimena Sanchez, like Fabiana Baldo, like Michael Shapiro, like Mary Tando, like Legal Latino. The list goes on. Well, some of the only allies that she still had or has or had are people like Jovi Val and his wife, Natasha Bellissima. And this is a person, Natasha Bellissima, she still calls a friend, who she recently congratulated on her birthday. This is a woman that is affiliated with Black Lives Matter, who has recently, as this summer, has been protesting That's Natasha Bellissima with her leg kicked up in the air. You might not recognize her because of her mask, but that is Jovi Val's Black Lives Matter leadership wife. And this is her Instagram Insta Love. I've shown you other pictures from this Instagram Insta Love with her and Jovi Val, right? That's who she calls her bestie, one of her besties, right? Why is it that Laura Loomer would be important to someone like her? Well, it just so happens that Laura Loomer heard about the story of Jovi Val getting hit in the face, having something to do with him wearing a MAGA hat. Now that you understand how these paid instigators get paid, how they go and get into fights wearing their MAGA hat so that they can get a lot of likes and follows, so that they can get a lot of sympathy, and more importantly, so that they can get a lot of dollar bills, y'all, is by using that conservative base of people that feel harassed because of their political beliefs, because of their MAGA hats, right? And Laura Loomer, probably without researching very much into who Jovi Val is or was, used her platform to talk about what happened to him. And as a result, Jovi Val got free reconstructive surgery, and his wife, Natasha Bellissima, of Black Lives Matter, did a GoFundMe for him in which he raised over $50,000, all of which he was supposed to use for his medical. But since I just told you, he got a free reconstructive surgery for his injuries, he was able to pocket. And of course, she would love nothing more to be in the same category than Jovi Val. Someone that catches Laura Loomer's attention and hopefully is able to ride on her coattails. Just ask Border Network News's Oscar El Blue Ramirez or Anthony Agüero. They know a lot about women like her trying to ride on their coattails. Also, let's go down the list of people that she's friends with or has been friends with, that she admires and continues to be friends with, still is friends with, like Oma Navarro, who went to jail for stalking, who had previously used a stalking device on his wife and had gotten a restraining order put upon him, or Jovi Val, who also has gotten in trouble for stalking, or Natasha Bellissima, who's also gotten in trouble for stalking. Interesting. The kind of company she likes to keep. And I think it's only fair that I bring it up because it matters. Now let's listen to what she said about her past with Legal Latino and her past in Mexico. Take a listen to her allegations of the harsh experiences that she has had. This is an old clip.
From me and learn, don't forget that I've grown up in both countries, but I've grown up in a third world country. I've been kidnapped. I've lived in what is considered the most dangerous city in the world for the last 11 years. I know a lot of stuff, okay? And the one thing that I've learned,
and the one thing that I remember about Mary Tando's interview, in which she talked about how Paloma bragged about living in Tijuana, not exactly in Tijuana. Actually, she said that Paloma told her she lived 30 or 40 minutes past the city of Tijuana, near Rosarito, and that she lived in an area where all of the cartel members lived. And she was very comfortable and safe living there. You'll also remember she's made videos talking about how she started, how she went to Mexico City, to Tepito, literally the murder capital of the city of Mexico, the most dangerous place in terms of crime, kidnapping, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, you name it. If it's a crime, it's happening there, and how comfortable she felt going in there. You might remember these things because she likes to brag about how comfortable she is around bad places and bad people. Let's listen to this next clip.
Only way after about a year and a half, 2 years of going through this, that all those people left me alone was when I started hitting back. Because at first I was like, oh my God, why are these people doing this to me? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Like, oh, my laptop and this and that and my car. They popped my tires and they took my laptop and they talk about me. And
you know what, Derek? Thank you for your comment, Derek. I'm surprised Homeland Security has not yet picked her up. Guess what? It takes time to do thorough investigations on people that are committing crimes at the border, especially when it's been going on for a long time. It takes time to investigate, and I think, you know, the wheels of justice, they move slowly, but they're moving. They're always moving. And I think it's important for us to compile the information where people can find it. So let's take a look at what she just said right now about how the only way that she can stop people is to hit them. I believe she's referring to attacking them, not physically hitting them, although she has bragged about physically assaulting Ximena Sanchez's mom. You guys have seen that, right? So she's not beneath it. In fact, I think she talks about it a little bit more in one of these upcoming videos, how she's physically assaulted people in the past. Let's take a listen.
Towards my car. I got into my car, inside my car, okay? It was a woman with her sister-in-law and her sister. The three of them went set out to attack me. I remember sticking my feet out the window and start hitting him in the face, okay? They were attacking me, three women, okay? They started like trying to come at me, and I got in the car and I put my feet out the window and started kicking them in the face. After that, they didn't mess with me anymore because they were...
Well,
again, this is not the only time that she has bragged about physically assaulting people. When she talks about how she is kind and she is warm-hearted and she doesn't harm anybody, that's why she takes care of the animals, because she's a kind person. She leaves out the fact that she verbally abused a nonverbal adult person with a disability, the granddaughter of Mary Tando, Jasmine. She leaves out the fact that she physically assaulted and made a migrant child pee their pants at the border and then bragged about it and refused to apologize for it until she was so thoroughly and publicly shamed across the borders and across the entire world that she began to apologize for it. She had to. She didn't have any choice, because she became so infamous because of the cold-hearted, violent things she was more than comfortable to do and brag about. Now you know that she bragged about physically assaulting Ximena Sanchez's mother, and that she bragged about physically assaulting some women. It's pronounced women. Woman is singular. Women is plural. Ay, que alguien le enseñe a hablar inglés a esta mujer. Clases. They're available online.
yes.
They are available. Now I want to show you how she was very much infatuated with Legal Latino, even when she made this video.
Where's doing that?
couple years ago. Okay, I meet this guy. He seems like a great guy. He's very nice to me. I'm even thinking, okay, you know, I could have a future with this guy. I think he treated me in a really, really awesome way. He seems, you know, we have so much in common. We have, you know, a lot of good things between us. He wanted me to get pregnant within 3 weeks of me meeting him. Like, what is wrong with these people? You know, he wanted me to get pregnant to seal the deal. You know, you don't seal deals by getting pregnant. That's just not what you do. That's just not what, you know, what decent people do. Like, if you get pregnant, oh well, you get pregnant, whatever, you know, but you don't purposely get pregnant while, you know, that way to seal the deal and make sure that you don't go with anybody else. I'm human enough, I'm you know, strong enough mentally that if I want you, I can have a relationship with you for a year, even if it's long distance, and marry you in a year. I'm not gonna get pregnant long distance when everything's a mess, just so we can seal the deal and you can make sure I don't go with anybody else. Okay, so he's been going insane for a couple.
So she's talking about legal Latino, and she is saying, right? She's saying that she broke up with him because he wanted to have her babies, yet she was still looking for him. And this is really sad. She goes on here to really humiliate not only herself, but her husband of 12 or some years that she claims, Gene Padilla. Gene Nadine Paraon Padilla.
Oh, reviewed. Okay. Wait, is John Rodriguez on here?
Now that's
John, really? Are you commenting on here? Because Oh, John. Okay, so let me tell you who John is. John is the guy that I was just talking about in the beginning that I met a couple years ago. I mean, his name is not John, really. That's his fake account. But I'm just saying. John is this guy that I met a couple years ago. Unfortunately now, because that's the only way I can use to describe meeting you now. And I'm so glad you're on here watching so I can address you directly, you piece of trash. You jealous, disgusting, vicious piece of trash, because that's what you are. You're a jealous, disgusting, vicious piece of trash, lying about my age, lying about me, you know, mocking my looks when I have videos and videos and videos of you telling me how obsessed you are with me, how much you want me, how much you're in love with me, how happy I made you, you piece of trash. Sorry. I erase that. Let's edit that out. Can we edit that out? But that's who you are. And I hope you just go away and you realize that what you're doing is only going to make you miserable in the long run. You're not going to get anywhere with me. Nowhere. You're done. And I will go on to have a beautiful future while you just sit there and watch it over the internet and kick yourself in the butt for having lost the best thing that ever happened to you. So anyway, there goes that.
So she's not upset with him at all. She's completely over it. And you know, I had to show you this because he was brave enough to come on the show and talk. I commend him for doing it. It's not easy, especially with the crazy things he had to deal with. Remember when he talked about how she was talking all crazy about ghosts and goblins in the room, and he had to slap a fork out of her hand.
Yep.
It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, we call that an estatus quietos. He just like, boo. She wasn't over him, but can you imagine, Duke? This is happening with Gene sitting next to her the entire time.
Yep, and she says, can we edit that out? Can we? No, you didn't. You didn't, and you put it on the internet, so it has not been edited.
She's talking about how she was cheating on her husband with him sitting next to her, and she don't care. Take a listen. She's going to keep talking about it. Oh, my gosh.
You're disgusting. You're disgusting. I'm going to expose you, and I'm going to expose pictures of you so people know who you are. Yeah, go away, John. Again, he's so frustrated. You know how many calls I've gotten about, who is he? Who is he? Why is he so vicious with you? And when I explain that, they're like, oh, yeah. In Mexico, well, in Spanish, but especially in Mexico, we call them despechados. That means when somebody's And you know what's funny? It's not like the Michael Shapiro guy. It's no. The Michael, that guy is a reject that is married in his 60s, whatever. You know. No, this guy, I was like, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. You know, he's a little bit younger than me, not that much younger than me. Don't even lie, you liar. And I thought he was a good guy, and I thought about giving him a chance, and look at what he does. Like, I don't give anybody a chance, okay? I don't give anybody a chance, and I thought about giving you a chance, and look at what you've done with it, you dumbass. So anyway, Teddy Spaghetti, look, that's what he comments. Like, he drives for Uber, he's miserable watching us at home, and the best he can comment is Teddy Spaghetti 2020. Like, that's his best argument. You should have seen the Neo guy destroy him over the live video the other day. Like, I got so many calls about, they were like, it was painful watching the Neo guy destroy this legal guy over the it was painful. It was painful. Let me tell you, John, it was painful to watch you guys' rap whatever thing you had going on, and you know how every time he mentions my name you almost cry. Like, it was painful.
She is sitting next to her husband. Okay? Mm-hmm. She's sitting next to the guy that has defended her, and through thick and thin, he's there. And she is actively arguing with this guy, with this profile she's sure is him. We don't even know if it's him or not, but she is sure that it's him, and she's arguing right next to her husband.
Wow.
And she doesn't care about his feelings. I mean, you've heard from people that have come on the show, including Oscar El Ramirez and Anthony Agüero, that the way that she talks to her husband and the way that she acts in front of him is embarrassing, is cringeworthy. You know what's sad and pathetic? The way that she acts in these videos right next to her husband. That is what's sad and pathetic. And the fact that she has zero empathy for him or how it must make him feel. You're about to see something that is truly pathetic and humiliating that she did to Gene. I want you to take a look.
Good woman. I know you will never find anyone like me, and I know that. Believe me. John, you will never find anyone like me, okay? This guy almost lost me to you, okay? And look.
Did you hear that again?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Watch.
Let me out of his car.
He's like, She did it the first time. Okay, watch how she has zero regard for this man. She goes, oh, and for those of you who might be asking yourself why I am sitting here talking like a sad, pathetic sap to a man that I claim not to care about, let me just tell you, he's right here. My husband is right here. And I can do this to him, and it's totally okay. Look at me. Look at me how I don't care about how he feels. See? Would I be able to do this if it bothered him?
He almost lost me to you. And
go ahead and play it again. I don't want you to take it down. I want you to play it again.
All right.
Play it again, Sam.
Play it again, Sam.
Good woman. I know you will never find anyone like me, and I know that. Believe me. John, you will never find anyone like me, okay? This guy almost lost me to you, okay? And look
how proud I am of myself.
He tries to hide.
She did it again. She did it one time, and then she went, look at me. Look at how proud of myself that I can do this to him. And he takes it like a dog. He takes it. And she goes, look, I'm going to do it again. Right in front of him. Right in front of you all. Look, I'm going to do it again. She puts the camera on him. He goes, He could not bring himself to slap the phone out of her hand like Oscar did when she was filming his child after he told her, "Do not film my child. Do not put my child on one of your live streams." Like Robert had to do when he slapped the fork out of her hand when she's talking about ghosts and witches. Okay? Jean could not find it in himself to slap that phone out of her hand, to stop her, or to even get out of the car. All he could do was go, That's it. That's all he could do. And then she did it again. Check it. You would think, like, no, she won't do that again. She won't use him as a prop to tell a guy that jilted her, that rejected her, look how much you want me. I know how much you still want me. Look, I can do this to my husband all the time. Check it. Here it is.
Same one? Same one?
It's the next one.
Okay, here we go.
He almost lost me to you, and look at where he's at, because he knows my worth. You're right. He does know my worth. He does know my value. And he knows all about you, and I have nothing to hide. I never have. Just like the day I met you, I told you everything about me. I'm transparent since day one. Yeah, spaghetti pigeon. That's your best argument. Yeah. Yeah, he's just obsessed. He's obsessed. He will never get over me. But look at the way he, like, if you're in love with someone, if you like someone, if you want someone, you don't hit them. Like, what are you, 5? No, dude, you're in your 30s. Like, come on, get a life, man. Seriously. Anyway, that's to give you an idea who this legal guy is, making all these cartoons and all this stupid stuff about me. And why he's so frustrated and why he's so despechado. Estás despechado, okay? Estás despechado. Your mind is just not well. And stop smoking all that stuff because it's not good for you either. And yeah, you smoke too much of it. Like recreational, okay. Medical, okay. The way you do it, not okay. Not okay. And that's another thing too that, you know, I always took into consideration. I was like, really? No, I don't think, you know, it's really bad for, you know, for, you know, all kinds of different things. So when you do as much as you do, because you're pretty obsessed with it. So, anyway, after this, I'm going to block him. His comments will be gone. And yes, he's going to get off my page. He's live right now making fun of you. Well, he's making fun of himself because I'm calling him out. I know he's all out there stalking everything that I do. He's so obsessed that he could not have me the way he wanted me when I was actually thinking about giving him a chance, which I've never done to anyone else in my life, okay? And then what he does, and he starts hitting me because I don't do what he says, okay? I mean, not hitting me physically. He's actually not abusive physically. He did knock a fork out of my hand one time, which was also a big turnoff. You know, I'm not into physical. I mean, think of my attitude and having someone physically abuse me. No, not gonna happen. But no, I'm not gonna say he's physically abusive, but he is, you know, he's just not all well. He you know, he lost his mind, and I understand that you will never ever find someone like me, John. John, what a bad name too. Well, I mean, I like John, but like for you, and I love John. My stepdad's name was John, but I'm saying for you, it doesn't fit you. Like, come on, get a real name, you know. And it's not heat, it's needs heat, because you really do. So anyway, let's see. I believe you've gotten to the official boot from Miss Paloma. Best just to run. Yes. You will never have me again, John, just so you know. I mean, never. There's no way. You can make a million videos of me. You can make fun of me all you want. All you're going to end up getting from me is a restraining order. Okay? Let me just tell you that. And I wasn't joking about it. Okay? So keep making videos so you give me more and more to bring to the court, because you're not violent, so I can't get like a physical restraining order per se. But your personal conduct, I can get a restraining order against your personal conduct. There's two types of restraining orders. There's personal conduct and there's physical, when there's physical violence. You're not violent that I know of, like, some other people are, but I can get one against a restraining order, and Uber is not going to want that. And Uber's going to fire you once they find out you have a personal conduct restraining order, which is what you're doing right now to try to get views. I remember you telling me 2 years ago you were going to make money off your YouTube videos. Dude, you made $20 off my last video. Like, you're going to live off $20 for the entire week? Really? Really, John? Like, come on. I hate saying that because your name is not John, but whatever. He's so hooked while you were... so you hooked... No.
So you hooked?
Can you tell him the story or no?
You don't want to talk to him?
What? I have no... So, no. I don't cheat. Let me just tell you that much. And if I did, I wouldn't be saying it in front of people. Simple as that, okay?
She did it again.
Wow.
It's as simple as that. It's not hard to figure.
So,
Wow.
okay, let me just explain what you just saw, okay? She was reading messages off of the comments, and that can be a dangerous thing, especially if you're not very fluent in English and you don't know how to read, and you're reading out loud in real time on your live stream. You can actually end up reading a question like, were you a hooker then? Are you a hooker?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh God, I just read that out loud. She thought it was going to be some, butt kissing comment like most of the ones that she usually gets on her live stream from her 7 fans. And that she was going to be like, ha ha ha, yes, let's laugh at that. And it turned out that they were asking her, are you a hooker? And then she was like, oh, Jean, can you explain that? Do you want to explain this to them?
And Jean jumped out of the vehicle.
Are you humiliated enough yet, Jean? Or can I humiliate you some more? Can you explain to them that I'm not a hooker? Oh, you don't want to? Fine, I'll just put you on my video anyway. Hey, do you think if I was a hooker, I could do this? Look.
Wow. And then Jean jumped out of the vehicle, I think, twice. I heard the doors open. He says, I'm getting out of
She
here.
must have a leash on him and
Yeah,
yanked him back
pulled him
in.
back.
Maybe
Has it
she's got
on his leg,
Maybe he's got like a shock
Yeah,
collar.
I wanted to thank a few people who have made contributions and comments. Wes Sider made a $10 contribution, said, Paloma is a Mexican Karen. Yeah, no kidding. And Mary Tando made a $49.99 contribution. Thank you very much, Mary. You're so generous. You've supported our work for such a long time. We really appreciate you. And then Allison Moran made a $9.99 contribution. So thank you all for making contributions. It'll drive Paloma crazy that that you're supporting us, because she's lost her whole platform and she has nothing and she doesn't monetize and she's not accountable enough, and it really bugs her when people are legit like we are, that we can receive contributions.
Yes, we can. But also, we have the ability to break things down for you in a way that she just lacks the ability to do. And I want to show you what she did. She didn't just humiliate Gene in that video. She humiliated him in a series of YouTube videos that I showed on a show where I explained and translated that she was filming him committing crimes. And she was asking him to confess to his crimes in the videos. So when you're falsifying the documentation for these boats, you just tell people that you own these businesses, that you have these different businesses. Well, what do you tell them when they call the businesses? What do they say? Oh, he says they just tell them that that used to be an old number for that business and they must have a new number. Oh, okay, so because if they call me on my cell phone, you put my phone number down as one of those fake businesses. What am I supposed to say? Something Marina? Mm-hmm. You remember those videos?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And she had the audacity to tell everyone that I got them from her Hollywood D-list movies LA channel, that she had some Instagram channel for all of her movies, and that's where I got these videos from, because she didn't want you to believe that she would blackmail her own husband and have videos online that she must have forgotten about, or obviously didn't care if anyone saw them, right? She must hold them as collateral against him ever leaving her. Maybe that's why he's glued in his seat, even as she's talking to him like he is an absolute zero to her. But the truth is that I got them from her YouTube channel, which she has since deleted, but I still have the screen captures of some of my downloads. Here are 2 of those videos in which she is filming him falsifying documents at an official border crossing documentation institute of the Mexican government. You see him there falsifying the documents. Most of the video is her filming him falsifying the documents and talking about falsifying the documents and how he does it. Yet she claimed that they were from her movie video. What, was Jean in your movie video? Was Jean part of the movie? She wants you to believe that because the idea that she could have blackmail information, even to keep the one and only relationship that she has consistently had, is by making you think that, oh, that was for a movie. And Jean just happened to be the main subject of that movie. But here are my downloads. Take a look. These came from a YouTube channel. I downloaded them with a YouTube downloader. And the names that they downloaded, Mike, onto my computer are the same names she put on these 2 videos in Spanish. Más falsificación, more falsification. And the other one, which is más y más false, and, basically it says more and more false. It cut off there, but you can see these were downloaded from a YouTube channel. That's the verification of the fact that they were downloaded from a YouTube channel. They were not downloaded from her LA Instagram, nothing. These are not videos about a movie like she tried to make you believe. These are videos that she filmed of herself, right? Being candid with her husband about committing crimes that I can only assume she meant to use to humiliate him and to hold over his head, including one where she confronts him about being with a woman. A woman she later talks to Fabiana Baldo about in a text message, which she says he left her for, but that she was able to get him back with witchcraft. Remember those text messages? Yeah, she had a video confronting him about that woman on this channel, which I also showed you. I won't bore you with that or the video of her having a fight with him over a house in Mexico. But I can guarantee you these were not videos for any movie channel. She can't explain this away, nor can she explain away the fact that she films herself doing all sorts of disgusting things, including wiping her armpits. Here's a clip. I'm going to give you a little present. Is she wiping her armpits?
Yes, she is.
She knows she's videotaping this. Gross. Can I have the puke bag? You pass me the puke bag?
Yes.
I'm wiping my armpits, and these people just caught me on tape. How embarrassing. They're filming. Who's filming? She's talking about other people filming her.
And she's filming herself.
Wow. And they don't even know. Her husband doesn't even know how deceptive she is. The layers of deception are crazy. Did she just pick her nose? Oh my God, what's going on?
Thank you. This might be from a movie channel. It was called The Armpit of Hell. Is the name of that movie. I'd like to thank Raul Valencia for making a contribution to our show tonight, and also Legal Latino Heat. He's in the house supporting our work. We support you.
Thank you. By the way, one of her excuses, sad, pathetic excuses, because she doesn't have the ability to translate things, is that she says that I said that she was being filmed. Yeah. Prior to this, if you go and watch the original video that I translated the entirety of from beginning to end, I think I even did 2 shows on this.
Yep.
I translated it, and she was driving, and she cut someone off. She cut off a vehicle and almost crashed. I don't know if it was because she was cleaning her armpits or because she was, trying to multitask, driving and extorting the film out from her husband. But the point is, she almost crashed the car. Okay? And she screams and she says, "Oh my God, they cut me off." And her husband corrects her and says, "No, they were here first. You cut them off." And she's like, "Oh, I don't care." She keeps driving. And then they catch up to her. And she says, "Oh, they caught me." They caught up to her. That's what she means. They caught me means after she cut them off and almost caused a car accident, they caught up to her and started filming her, probably to report her to the cops. And she's like, "Oh, how embarrassing. They're filming me." She tried to play all of that off like there was a film crew for the movie that she made that she never produced any proof of, that were in the other vehicle. No, those are the people you nearly killed when you tried to run them off when you accidentally almost ran them off the road. Mm-hmm. That's who those people were that were filming you. Don't play stupid. Go back and listen to the entire thing. I don't have time to rehash the whole thing, but I will tell you that of those threats that she made on that rant that she just did against Legal Latino Heat, she kept her promise of bringing another bogus restraining order to the courts. And guess what? It also failed. Take a look for yourself. Here she is taking Robert Herrera to court for a restraining order, and it was dismissed without prejudice on July 15, 2019. Item number 14 on the list. Court order, entire action dismissed. Bye-bye. Once again and again and again, I keep showing you how she brings these actions to harass people, and then they get kicked out. And she's not just known infamously in the United States for being a harasser, for being an agitator, for being a paid activist. She's known for that in Mexico as well. Remember, I told you that. And on the day that she was out there trying to get her picture with Ivan Raebling, the media, no, this was in a different day. She was out there protesting. The media posted a video of her calling her a paid agitator. Here it is. This is a video. I'm about to show you a clip from this video where the media actually confront her. They confront paid agitator, agitadora pagada. Agitadora means agitator. Do you not see it in the word? It sounds like agitator, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Agitadora. And pagada is paid. Those of you who speak Spanish, in the comments, you can tell what those words mean, right?
Right.
Am I translating this correctly? I don't want to be accused of mistranslating what this woman was asked about. Here is the confrontation of the media in Spanish. Please pause as I translate for folks once again. All right. They questioned her. Notice that they do not believe that she is even a resident of Tijuana. They know they're onto her. They're onto her in the media in Mexico. They're onto her here. Take a listen.
Exactamente lo mismo. Dijiste que vivías en San Diego. Dijiste que vivías en Estados Unidos.
You said you lived in San Diego before, and you said that you lived in the United States.
No, yo dije, a ver, enséñame dónde dije. Yo llevo años aquí en Tijuana.
Oh, yeah? I said that? Prove it to me. Show me where I said it. I've been living for years here in Tijuana.
Yo llegué a Tijuana aquí en el 2008.
I arrived in Tijuana in 2008.
Llevo años viviendo aquí en Tijuana.
I've spent years living here in Tijuana.
Muchos vecinos aquí en Tijuana.
I've got a lot of neighbors here in Tijuana.
Puedes ver en entrevistas en el 2013 cuando yo hago marchas para defender a los animales.
You can go back to the marches of 2013 when I was marching on behalf of animal rights.
Aquí en Tijuana me puedes ver mis fotos en Palacio Municipal.
I went and took my photos at the city
Magistrate.
at the magistrate's office, which would be like city council or
Courthouse.
the courthouse. Yeah.
Siempre viendo por los derechos de los animales aquí en Tijuana porque aquí vivo. Cuando
I always have been fighting for the rights of animals here in Tijuana because this is where I live.
estoy en el Estado de México, defiendo sus derechos allá en el Estado de México.
When I'm in the state of Mexico, I defend the animal rights there.
Cuando estoy aquí en Tijuana, lucho por los animales aquí en Tijuana. ¿Alguna otra pregunta? Sí.
When I'm here in Tijuana, I fight for the rights of the animals here in Tijuana. Any other questions?
Oye, cuando dices, es que nosotros queremos que se vayan, ¿hacia quién te representa? ¿Qué agrupación tienes para...?
¡Ninguna!
Entonces, ¿por qué dices nosotros?
When you say, we want them to leave, who are you speaking of? Who do you represent? What organization are you with? None, she says.
Yo tengo un video. Porque la semana pasada había miles de mexicanos aquí marchando en esta glorieta y los vi allá. Porque son muchos de mexicanos los que...
There was thousands of Mexicans marching on this turnaround, on this, what is it called? The round thingy where you go around in the cars? I can't remember what it's called.
Roundabout.
The roundabout, yes, thank you. There was thousands.
Metes a la entrevista. ¿Por qué no te metes a la entrevista que hizo, al reportaje que hizo?
Yes, but you don't represent them. Why don't you go and check the report that was done by
Denise Merkel antenoche y ver
Denise Merkel the night before last?
Y ver los comentarios que hace la gente. Nada más tiene 200 comentarios. Nada más.
And just look at the comments that are being made by Mexicans. Just look at the 200 comments left on that show.
Nada más tiene 200 comentarios. Y lo que está tratando de hacer esa mujer es dividir a la gente de Tijuana, voltear el odio hacia mí, cuando yo lo único que...
And when Denise Merkel is trying to do is turn the people of Tijuana and divide them and turn them against me, when all I'm trying to do
estoy haciendo es defender los derechos de aquí de Tijuana como tijuanense, como 10 años de tijuanense.
Paloma,
is to defend the rights of people here in Tijuana as a person from Tijuana.
¿Tienes identificación que nos muestres donde se vea que sí vives en Tijuana?
Tengo mi pasaporte mexicano.
No.
Can you show us some form of identification that shows that you are a resident of Tijuana? I have my Mexican passport I can show you.
El INE.
Tu dirección, tu INE.
No. The INE, which is an ID card in Mexico, or that shows your address. Your address, they're all clamoring.
Sí, aquí está mi esposo. ¿Quieres verlo?
No, el INE.
Yeah. My husband is right here. You want him to show you?
Aquí en la colonia Buenavista. ¿Quieres verlo?
I live right here in Colonia Buenavista. You want me to prove it?
La INE.
Hablamos del INE. Hablamos del INE.
Sí.
And they keep saying La INE. They want her INE card. Go ahead.
De la IFE, ¿no? De la credencial de lector. ¿Quieres verla?
He has his IFE, which is his voter ID card on him. You want to see his voter ID card?
¿Quieres verla? Aquí está mi esposo. ¿Quieres verla? No, yo no traigo nada, pero él sí, él trae su cartera.
I don't have anything with me, but he has his wallet on him, and she's looking around like she can't see him. He's right behind her.
Ven, a ver. Mira, ven, aquí está mi esposo.
My husband's right here. Do you want to see his ID card?
No, la tuya,
Paloma.
No, la tuya, Paloma. No, we want to see yours, Paloma. We want to see your ID. Look how ravenously angry she becomes.
Me la robaron y hay reportajes. Tengo un acta levantada. Me pusieron un cuchillo aquí en la colonia Buenavista y me rebasaron.
I can't. I was robbed at knife point, and there's media reports to prove. There's a report to prove it, she said. There's a report to prove it. I went and filed a report in Buenavista.
Mi bolsa, pero él sí la trae la suya. ¿No tiene seguro?
My purse was stolen, so I don't have any ID, but he has his with him.
¿Aquí en Tijuana? ¿Seguro de qué?
De INS, de
Do you have a social security card with any information about you so you can show that to us?
Tengo mi propia empresa desde hace
I don't need a social security card because I don't work. I have my own company.
muchísimos años.
tu seguro.
No.
For many years. So you don't have a social security number?
No tengo seguro que no, ni popular ni
No, I don't have any. I don't have any.
nada, no, la verdad no.
Ni en Estados Unidos.
Tampoco menos.
Do you have a Social Security card in the United States? No. I have even less reason to have one in the United States.
No, ya nada más, ya no te dan seguro, a menos que lo paguen.
They don't give you a Social Security card over there unless you get paid. Or it is paid for you.
Well, it brings up the question of voting in the United States. If you've always lived in Mexico,
So you can see that people know that she is a fake, that she is a phony. She refuses to identify herself or tell people where she is. And here's the thing. I made a big deal about the fact that she lied about knowing Ivan Riebling, who I told you at the beginning of this show has just been sentenced for extortion and threats against journalists in Tijuana. This is a guy that has been doing criminal things for which he's gone to jail multiple times. He's a repeat offender. He has ties to organized crime. And when Paloma went up to him, stood in line like a fangirl, took a picture with him and thanked him, and then went on to lie on a radio program, went on to lie on a video that she made in response to my calling her out for having lied about knowing this guy and having taken a picture of him. She said that he approached her, that he sought her out because she's a celebrity and he wanted a picture of her. Why would you make up that lie? Why would you make up that lie? It's a completely unnecessary lie. You don't have to say, I did not know who that guy was. I did not know who that guy was. Unless you know that guy is a very, very bad guy who you happen to like and admire and do not now want to admit it. And do not now want to admit it because it looks bad that you really like this guy who's a total criminal. And that's why you took the picture with him, because you think criminals are cool and you wanted to be like him. So let me just show you what I got so you can review it for yourself. It may not have seemed like a big deal then, but now what you know, what you've seen, all the people that she's been close to that have gotten arrested, that have gotten in trouble, that have gotten slapped with permanent restraining orders, and you ask yourself, why did she hide this and twist it and lie about it? Take a look at the video.
Today, fighting for Mexico, fighting for the future of our nation. I almost, in a way, want to thank the caravan organizers and whoever's behind all this, because they're just getting us together. They're bringing us together as Mexicans to fight for our country, to stand up against our government, guys. This is not the first time I stand here with this flag. I've stood out here many times with this flag, and I will do it for the rest of my life.
Okay, this is what Jules said. All U.S. citizens and residents get a Social Security number. Yes, and an American citizen would know that. Right, Jules? Mm-hmm. Doesn't it, strike you that she says things when she thinks that no Americans are listening, that we know, that every American in America knows is not true? Even if you can't work, go to school, or even rent an apartment in the U.S. without a Social Security number. Good point. It's very, very observant of you. Mm-hmm. Even if you marry someone from the USA, once paperwork is done, you get a Social Security number. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see why I call these things into question? That she has no identification in Mexico, that she can produce in Mexico, and she has no identification that she can produce of a residence or an address in the United States. And yet, she takes all these actions. Let me show you what she did to get close to Ivan Riebling. Here's her standing in line like a big fangirl.
Fighting for the future of our nation. I almost, in a way, want to thank the caravan organizers and whoever's behind all this, because they're just getting us together. They're bringing us together as Mexicans to fight for our country, to stand up against our government. This is not the first time I stand here with this flag. I've stood out here many times with this flag, and I will do it for the rest of my life.
Okay, that was awkward, but I want you to hear it again, and I want you to turn it up so you can hear what she said this time. She thanks the caravan organizers.
Fighting for the future of our nation. I almost, in a way, want to thank the caravan organizers and whoever's behind all this, because they're just getting us together. They're bringing us together as Mexicans to fight for our country, to stand up against our government. This is not the first time I stand here with this flag. I've stood out here many times with this flag.
I want to thank the caravan organizers because they actually brought all of us together. What?
Well,
You want to thank the caravan organizers? Excuse me? Why do you want to thank the caravan organizers? Nobody in Mexico that saw what these caravans did to every Mexican city they went through, what the criminal smugglers and human traffickers were doing to people, wanted to thank them for bringing people together. What kind of a weirdo thing is that to say? I want to thank all of the caravan organizers that I'm standing here protesting against. What? Are you cuckoo in the head? Why would you say that? I would pose to you that it was a Freudian slip on her part.
yep.
I would pose to you that the truth trickles out now and again. And she always hangs herself with her own words. I've shown you over and over and over again how her own mouth betrays her and tells the truth. Here's her fangirling for Ivan Riebling, even though she said she didn't even know who this guy was. There she is, waiting in line with her Mexican flag. The woman there is taking a picture. She's standing in line waiting for him to get done with her. And I didn't show you the rest of the video where she's waiting in line for quite a long time. We have to defend Tijuana, she says. Gracias. For those of you that don't speak Spanish and that don't know gracias, that means thank you. She waited in line patiently. She took a picture with a multiple-time felon connected to the cartel as a human smuggler, as a drug and weapons smuggler, and now recently convicted for extorting money from journalists and threatening their lives. That guy, she was very angry that I exposed the fact that she waited in line to take a picture with him and thanked him. And here's the real reason why. She likes him, and she betrayed herself and told you all in a video that she did. Listen to her. Here she is admitting it.
Listen, because you think it's a joke and you think it's funny that you're making all these videos about me with pretending that I have ties with terrorists because I took a picture at a rally with some stupid guy, whatever, who probably has a lot more courage than you do. You guys are pretty much about the same, except he's 6'4" or 6'3", and he's handsome and he's tall and he is respected and he's known, and you're not. So, anyway, yeah. So I would suggest for all this to stop.
He is respected and you're not.
Yeah.
I'm the
Respected
same as
criminal.
Ivan Riebling to her.
Yeah.
I'm the same as Ivan Riebling to her because, except that he's tall and handsome and respected, and I'm not.
Yeah.
But as far as how bad we are, me and him are the same. She's equating me, a reporter, with a multiple-time felon, human trafficker, weapons trafficker, etc. She's equating me with that kind of guy, a guy that threatens people, extorts people from money from press and threatens them. Take a look at his newest charges. These are his newest charges. It says here that the infamous so-called defender of human rights, Ivan Riebling, was sentenced by a judge, a federal judge, for federal charges after he threatened a reporter 2 years ago named Odilon Garcia. The Attorney General of the government of Mexico, through its Attorney General, Special Counsel in Human Rights, the division, obtained a sentence from a federal judge. The maximum sentence under the law could be for 1 year, paying reparation for damages, fines, suspension of his civil rights and political rights for the crime of threatening, in favor of a Baja California reporter that he harassed in 2018 through a video he posted on social media making threats. So I'm going to show you in this video what this man says when he makes these threats. Bear with me as I translate.
Odilon García, todavía no acabas con tu guerra sucia.
Odilon Garcia, you haven't ended your dirty war.
Todos sabemos que estás en la nómina del gobernador.
We all know that you are on the payroll of the governor, which he switches the name of the word governor around so that it sounds like thief in Spanish. They kind of sound the same.
Y de la señora presidenta de Tijuana.
And the mayor of Tijuana.
Te voy a decir una cosa. Sigue con tu guerra sucia y diciendo ahora, para colmo, que violo niños.
Continue you with your dirty war. Even you can continue telling people the most recent thing you mentioned is that I rape children.
Eso sí te voy a decir una cosa. Lo único que voy a violar es el trasero de ustedes, los putos malos.
Let me tell you something. The only thing I am going to rape is the behind of all of you bad guys.
Y sabrás a qué sabe mi bota.
And you're going to taste what it's like. You're going to know what it's like to taste my boot.
Cuando esté hasta el fondo de tu trasero.
When I drive it all the way up your rear end.
Conmigo no estén jugando. Si fuera un criminal, créeme, ya los hubiera mandado a matar.
You cannot play with me. And believe me, if I was a criminal, I would have had you murdered by now.
No me cuesta nada. Pero
it wouldn't be hard for me to do. But
aún creo en la justicia. Y sé que voy a ganar.
I still believe in justice, and I know I will prevail.
Y a ti, a Nuño, no voy a esperar que termine la gestión. El cartel de los putos malos.
And to you, I warn, I'm not going to wait until the war between the cartels is over.
En cuando te vea, de un putazo, te voy a tumbar la cabeza.
As soon as I see you, I'm going to knock your head off with one blow.
Escúchalo bien. De un putazo, te voy a
Did you hear me? With one blow,
tumbar la cabeza.
I'm going to knock your head off.
Y tú me mandas otra nota, periodista chayotero.
And if you write another yellow journalism story,
y voy a buscarte a tu casa
I'm going to come find you at your house.
y te voy a sacar enfrente de tu familia y te voy a poner una putiza.
I'm going to pull you out in front of your whole family, and I am going to F you up.
Que en toda tu perra vida se te va a olvidar.
It's going to be a beatdown you will never be able to forget for the rest of your life. Your effing hoe life.
Wow.
Yeah, he threatened to come to his house and beat him in front of his family. And there was some raping suggested
okay.
there with a boot or I don't know. Yeah, that's the guy who she thinks, she said in the
well
video,
known and cool,
is
Pretty cool.
more respected and nicer than me. That's the guy she admires. Let me tell you, that's not the only guy. I'm not just picking on this individual. I'm pointing out that there is a pattern of behavior. Look at this comment on one of my shows talking about her, where one of the audience members said that their friend had slept with Paloma also, one of the many people that claims that they had an affair with Paloma only to get blackmailed in some way, and that there's this person that slept with Paloma wanted to come forward, but Paloma has been threatening his wife. She blackmails men. Well, we know that's true because we've had men that she's blackmailed come on the show. In addition to that, here's another one in which she's talking. Mary Tando is being interviewed on my show, and a woman named Christina Segundo says, that's what psychos do, befriend people to get information and then use it as blackmail. Her whole video last night was about blackmailing Mary and saying she had pictures and blah, blah, blah. So once again, we see this pattern where she makes videos and she makes threats in those videos. And people asked her when she was at the border around other individuals with questionable criminal backgrounds, what she was doing with those individuals. Here's a woman named Alicia asking Paloma about how the woman who called herself Sonia, whose actual name is Christina, who's a known smuggler, human smuggler, was being posted about on IAC Project's page. And this woman says, Sonia got arrested for inciting the remainder of the caravanners at the old place not to obey officers and go to the new stadium. She was reported, was reported that she bit an officer. People are saying she is one of the caravan organizers. Have you heard anything? Oh, believe me, Paloma knew exactly who this woman was. This woman who she is hugging right behind my head. This woman who she defended till the bitter end, until she got arrested for assaulting a police officer and being caught, openly being caught being a smuggler. Then she disavowed her. Listen to her in this video as she continues to defend, even as she's known to have been arrested. Paloma continues to defend this known human smuggler by saying she's just crazy.
I mean, she was crazy. She was crazy. You can't give any relevance to someone whose mental ability is just not all there. I mean, the lady was nice, and she was nice. She's a screamer. She didn't even know what she was screaming for. She didn't know if she was with us or against the migrants, or against the caravan, or against the caravan organizers, or against us. She didn't know who she was fighting. She just wanted to fight somebody. And then one day it got out of hand, and she started pulling people and doing all kinds of stuff, and she got arrested, and we never heard from her again. The guy.
And she got arrested, and we never heard from her again. And why was it that you never heard? Why was it that you never heard that Sofia was known to be a pollera? Here's a post. calling her a pollera. That means a human trafficker. Tráfico humano. You read that? There's evidence of human trafficking of undocumented people, including children. This is the woman, the human trafficker that bit a police officer. Let us make her viral. She calls herself Sonia Diaz Vargas. She works with Pueblos Sin Fronteras and Irineo Mujica. She was a known associate of Irineo Mujica, who has been on a watch list in the Department of Homeland Security, and who's being investigated by Interpol. Sonia is a known associate of Irineo Mujica of PSF, which stands for Pueblos Sin Fronteras. Everyone in Mexico knew it. Ask yourself how someone who claims to be an influencer, who's always touting the fact that they grew up on both sides of the border and they've lived in one of the most dangerous cities in the world and they know everything that's going on. That's why you should follow her. That's why you should listen to her. And she didn't know that Ivan Riebling is a very well-known criminal that people stand in line to take a picture with? She didn't know? And she didn't know that Sonia was a well-known human smuggler working with Pueblos Sin Fronteras, even as she defended her? And here she was in December of 2018 telling people to please, please, please stop calling her about Cristina Estrada Torres. That's the real name of this human smuggler who was arrested, who was detained after she assaulted by biting a police officer, assaulted a police officer. And Paloma says, can you please stop talking to me about this human smuggler who was smuggling people? She knew how much this woman made. She was jealous of how much this human smuggler made. Who knows how jealous she was? But she was definitely impressed. She thought she was a nice lady. She's just a nice lady, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's just a nice lady. But please stop talking to me about her now because she's just a crazy woman. No, she was a known human smuggler that you defended until the bitter end. And the reason why it makes a difference that we put all of this together in a place that people can find it easily is so they can see the pattern of your friendships. You're fangirling of a lot of really, really horrible people. The way that you're described by the media in Mexico as a paid agitator, how people know exactly what you're about on both sides of the border now. That is something people need to know about and share. Right, Duke?
Exactly. And also I'd like to mention Alex Martinez made a contribution, and he says, Gene directed Paloma towards this Ivan Riebling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's important. If you watch the original video, she did. He was like, there he is. Now, we don't know if she was like, hey, whenever the felon shows up that I want to take a picture of with, let me know where he's at so I can get my picture taken with him. We don't know that.
Yeah.
My guess is that the person that feels comfortable in Tepito and that brags about living in one of the most dangerous cities in the world and not being afraid, and that tells people like Mary Tando that she lives in the cartel part of the city where she's living and that she feels very comfortable with, and that defends people like Ivan Riebling and Sophia, or whatever her name is, Christina, the human smuggler, they feel pretty comfortable hanging out with folks like this. That's why they seek them out, because they're in their most comfortable environment around folks like that. And that is why she needs to cover it up. That is the only reason why you would need to lie about taking a picture with someone. To cover up the real reasons why you had a relationship to that person, or why you were friends with a human smuggler or defended a human smuggler. She's got a lot to cover up, and we will continue to expose it here on a Mexican Crossing Lines with your hosts, Cindy Gomez-Schempp
And Duke Gomez-Schempp.
You've been listening to 88.1 FM, KPPPLP, Fargo Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. God bless and good night.